Speaking of Ferrari, by the way, Mr. Fred Vasseur, just collecting gems like he's Thanos himself.
Hey man,
This guy's just cherry picking guys.
Someone needs to stop Fred.
Fred is just
Cost cap, man. He has an unlimited budget.
What Fred is doing for Ferrari right now, kind of reminds me and takes me back to last year when we had this discussion and you guys were like, was it last year? But one.
Yeah.
When
I was asking about Fred, do you think he's going to do anything? Do you think he's...
Yeah, and you remember I was really conservative in my answer. I was like, hey, listen, I've seen his CV, and I told you guys he's a man who has a level head. He calms things down, and he's actually... Look, I saw his work at ART. I saw his work at Alfa Romeo, and I was like, that CV was impressive because what he has done for those teams, I mean, look at Alfa Romeo right now. Kick Sauber, that's Alfa Romeo. Look at where they are right now. He left deep in form immediately. So it just shows you who this person is. His working relationships with top drivers in the past. I think it's every driver on the grid currently, but maybe 2 or 1. Everybody else has passed through his hands. So he is a master of the sport in his own right. And I was like, listen, this guy, looking at his CV and looking at how he carries himself, it's always the non-serious guys, the nonchalant dudes. It's always them who are actually... what term did we use? The truth. Those are the truth. Yeah.
And the surprising thing is how Ferrari have wrapped their hands around him.
Yeah.
For me, the shocking bit was Ferrari has been known to not be very friendly to non-Italian folks.
Yeah.
Within the organization. So when Fred was joining Ferrari, on a few questions around this Frenchman going to deliver us.
This je ne sais quoi guy.
Yeah, from the bottom of the bottom that Binotto took us into.
Was it the bottom? No, not really.
Ferrari.
For Ferrari.
Ferrari were in the pits.
You're saying we were in the sewers?
Yeah.
For Ferrari.
Come on. Listen, I've seen worse days. I've seen worse days.
It was the SF75.
There's the F175.
Yes, the F1. I don't know why I keep on calling it the SF.
Yeah, but it's the one who messed up with the names because of the...
No, that was a 70.
It was a one-off naming thing.
Yeah, it was a one-off thing.
Yeah.
There was you see that car? It was giving shades of... I don't know if you guys
it was giving shades of a beautiful woman.
No, there's this other famous Ferrari car. I think it's called the F14T. The one that had oversteer and understeer at the same time.
Was it the one that Lauda called a shitbox at one point? It's that one, yeah. That's the one.
It oversteers in one corner, then the next corner, it as in the opposite. It's different. As in I don't know, it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
That kind of under Binotto's care was kind of representing the same situation. Because the drivers were not even sure whether this guy is going to behave how they expect it to behave around a particular set. Sorry, a set of corners or within a particular track. And that dented the driver's confidence. That is Leclerc and Carlos. And each time you could see Charles trying to push, he used to end up in the wall somewhere. Do you remember the famous...
No! Oh, yeah. And I remember before Carlos got his contract extension, he was also having a stint of non-finishes, DNFs.
Yeah.
He had a couple of DNFs.
Yeah. So now, that is the bottom of the bottom, which is now where Mercedes have been also for a number of years.
And they'll continue being there for
so
for
now Fred has actually
stabilized the ship.
Yeah, and I think he can be considered a national hero.
Listen, it's actually crazy.
By the Italians.
Until he gets us over the line.
Really?
Yeah, until he
Not
gets
yet.
us. Yeah, until he
What
gets us over.
What more do you want the man to do?
After collecting the Avengers, because he's collecting the Avengers at this point.
He hasn't snapped his fingers.
No, he's collecting the Avengers or the Infinity Stones, however you want to put it. He's just collecting them. We finally go to that war and we win. That's what we expect from him. We won that title back at
Cost
Maranello.
cap. That man needs to be stopped.
I mean, and they just, you're talking about cost cap and they just signed a new lucrative deal with HP. Hey.
That man needs to be stopped.
But listen, Fred, it was actually crazy for me to watch and see the Drive to Survive episode whereby they were saying in Italy, guys were like, we don't like him.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is there not to like? And that's, you've actually mentioned it. You've talked about it and how Italians are not really, I won't I'm not speaking in a bad way about them. I'm just saying from what we know about the politicking in Italy, the politicking at the place, and how they're not really friendly to an outsider, if I can say that. So it was really interesting to see that. But objectivity is always key. Look at the man, judge him for what he has achieved, not for what he is. Judge him for what he has achieved. That's my takeaway. But I'm really happy to see him stabilizing the ship, and I'm really enjoying the disaster he's causing around the grid and the paddocks.
But Miami, he almost broke a sweat. He looked like he was under some stress.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yep. Everyone has a breaking point.
Listen, okay, I want you to go on record. You've been very vocal on the new situation, and you've talked about how you see him retiring. You don't see him joining any other team. And the more you speak on this, and the more I look at the rumors and the wonders his contract manager or his attorney did for him, because he actually released him from the Red Bull gardening leave. He is free to work from as early as next year. Right now, he's just finalizing final touches on the, what was it? RB17, which is dropping sometime in June at the Goodwill Festival of Speed. Yeah? We'll make sure to keep an eye on that. So, what happens when you see him in red?
Of course, I'll feel some type of way. But I also respect the man. As an engineer, you always seek the next challenge. And I won't fault him if he decides to, I don't know, provide his services to another Formula One team. But I'll be less salty if Newey goes to another discipline.
Boats. Going to boats.
Well, maybe even
you really want him to go to the boats.
I want him to go to the boats.
Even drone racing. If he even goes to MotoGP, I'll be like, yeah, all good.
That will be
I don't want
interesting.
to see him offer his services to another Formula One team.
I mean, Williams are also getting into the race. Things are heating up. Listen.
Wako na pesa kweli?
Nah, audacity is key.
Nah,
Audacity is very key.
I had Williams.
But let me ask you, what do you think?
Do you know why he left Williams? Oh, sorry.
Is everyday role new is everyday role? Like, what do you think he does?
At Red Bull?
Nothing at this point.
No, okay.
No, he's still performing his duties.
Because from what I heard is like he's a
CTO at Red Bull Technologies. I think that's the name. Not even the racing.
Okay, I'm not saying he doesn't work, but it has been vocally said, and information has leaked. It has got we have gotten word that at Red Bull, people are like, no, he hasn't been doing really anything about anything.
Yeah,
like,
he's designing them.
He's kind of taken a step back, and other guys are actually now more involved in the decisions Newey is known to be involved in.
Yeah, there's a podcast that was recently released by David Coulthard and Eddie Jordan. Both of them are really good friends of Eddie Newey, and Eddie Newey was actually a guest on that podcast. It's called Formula to Success, I think. And this was recorded way back in December. And by December, Newey was actually like, I want to give other people an opportunity as in to make decisions, to drive things. It doesn't have to be, it's Newey all the time who has to dot the I's and cross the T's when it comes to design. But if he already has an able team, and they've been working with Newey all along. So him taking a step back, I think that already happened. When you trust that you have an able team, as in people are going to make good decisions. They're going to drive the direction of the design of the car that's going to give performance at the end of the day. And as a CTO, your work is not to be on everyone's shoulder.
So you're like, it's allowed to...
Yeah, you take a step back, then you just have people who are reporting to you. Of course, he has a say, as in, he's not the be and all, saying that this is correct, that is wrong. But as long as...
So his role is basically influence at this point.
Yes, influence. And there was a time Red Bull did, there's a video they did, and Newey was inside there. I've forgotten. I think it was on YouTube. And Newey was saying how he actually works with people in his team. He has an open office
Relationship, working relationship.
Yeah, as you have an idea, you just come.
I mean, he also looks the part. He looks like a guy
just
who's
talk
like,
to him, whatever, bounce whatever idea you have.
bounce ideas
talk
of each
through
other.
it, then But he's not the guy who's...
So it's not like it's not a vertical type of communication structure. It's kind of
horizontal, but still...
Slanting.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, so is this another way of saying if he comes to Ferrari, he won't really be of much use to us? He'll be more of like an overseer, a guy who's actually, no, don't do that, do this.
Well, it depends. Is Ferrari willing to start from scratch? Because I don't think new will come.
Because the role is also being offered at Ferrari. These guys are giving him a lot of leeway. I don't know if you've read the reports. They're giving him a lot of leeway. They're not tying him and constraining him to one specific thing. He's being told, or what we are hearing is he will be able to move in a certain way. He actually has some freedoms.
Yeah, I mean, because he's been very vocal about how there needs to be a harmony between the chassis and the power unit.
Yeah.
And if he goes to a team where the team has control over everything, I think he's going to thrive there. Kutakuwa less back and forths.
Now, case in point, I mentioned another team in the race for him, Williams.
Yeah. Before Nini, and we all know everybody is a Ferrari fan, and winning a championship, it doesn't matter who you are. And I know it doesn't matter who you support, but if you can win a championship in Ferrari, that is up there with anything that you can think of in terms of
so
success in
F1.
F1. Yeah.
He almost poked my eye.
Because I knew you were about to say something stupid.
I'm like, it actually took me aback for a minute there. Man. Come on, don't be doing like that. Man. Anyway, so I talked about the Williams situation, and do you guys know why he left Williams in the first place?
I don't know, but Eden has always, so I've watched a couple of interviews where he's talking about his life even before Red Bull. And like his first team his first team, I've forgotten the name of the team. Then he went to IndyCar, then Williams, then McLaren. I think that was the progression. Each time he left those respective teams, it was because he had a falling out with management or something.
So it's a pattern.
God damn it.
So new is the problem.
No,
you can't
No. Wait, hold up.
God damn it. I didn't see this coming.
It's character. Some people are like that.
No.
He wants a new challenge. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He wants a new challenge.
Okay, I know he left because he wanted a stake in the team, and
What?
he couldn't have it.
Oh, Williams.
Yeah, at Williams.
Okay, yeah.
Back when John Williams. What's his name? Is it John or George Williams? I don't know his name. I'm forgetting
William.
his name. The guy, the owner, yeah. The father to Claire.
Williams.
Frank.
It's
It's
Frank.
called Williams.
Yeah, I think it's Frank Williams.
Yeah, I could have sworn it's a George or something. I don't really know though.
It's William. The team is named after him.
Yeah, we're looking for the first name though.
Oh.
Yeah. So he wanted a stake in the team, which he couldn't get at the time. But right now, I think James Voles is ready to offer him that. And
Is it his to offer?
I don't know.
When Williams are on a board,
I don't know. I'm just
it's called
hearing.
Frank Williams. Yeah.
Okay, Frank Williams. Yeah. So I mean, they're kind of throwing that on the offer, and they're like, "Hey, listen,
Hey, I have a bad joke, but I don't. Hey, I'll just keep
Hey.
it.
Oh, we love them bad jokes.
No.
bring it in.
I'll keep it under wraps.
Okay, so finally on the Ferrari topic, I talked about the Mercedes coup. So at the time of this recording, ladies and gentlemen,
Tell them what has happened.
So at the time of this recording, first things first, happy birthday Formula One. I think it's now 70. How many years? 80 something or 74? I don't know. I don't really know. I think 74 years.
Should be more than 75 because the SF25 was celebrating 75
How
years.
many years is it? I think, but it's Formula One's birthday. It's a lot of years. It's a lot of years. Yeah. So at the time of this recording, breaking news: Ferrari bolsters its Formula One team with key signings from Mercedes.
God damn.
Bad news for Mercedes fans. Loic Serra joins as head of chassis performance engineering, while former F1 driver Jerome D'Ambrosio becomes deputy team principal.
Mercedes is already a sinking ship. People are jumping.
Modern day Titanic. That's what you're calling Mercedes, yeah?
What does the
I mean, the
captain say?
Titanic was white and black, yeah? And Mercedes is
What does the captain say when the ship is abandoned ship?
abandoned ship.
But you know the captain never leaves the ship.
He should be the last person to leave.
So Toto.
What are you doing if you're Toto right now?
Who me? drugs and alcohol and women. My sorrows. Cheating. Hey, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But if I was Toto, I know he's going through it right now, but I'd just throw the 2024 season to the bin and focus all my efforts.
How many seasons are they going to throw it to the bin?
Well, they started this season on a really bad note. And remember, this is their third iteration of the car, and the car is still hella tricky to drive.
I'd say fourth because last year they had 2 iterations of the same car. They had the sideboard car.
Okay, we can say 4.
Yeah.
And it's still hella tricky to drive. Now, we are just getting, as in 2024 now, if you're still thinking about fixing your car to be competitive next year,
May.
Yes, you'll be on the back foot come 2026.
Damn.
So I'd just say, hey, guys, it is what it is. Let's just put all our efforts next year into these new regs starting 2026.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Start testing as early as
Do you have a German
possible.
accent archived somewhere in your brain that you can slap us with?
No, I don't.
But people have to remember, by the way, Mercedes is a relatively new team in Formula One. And
Hey, no,
I'll take
no,
it
no,
to
no, no,
scare
no,
your
no,
people.
no, don't do that. No,
What?
no, I can never say that because listen,
Yeah.
Mercedes have been engine suppliers for the longest time in Formula One.
Facts.
Number 1. Number 2, they took over a team that had just won a championship
Facts.
in Braun GP.
Facts.
Remember that?
when was it?
2009. But that doesn't mean
Facts.
Mercedes started in 2009. They were supplying engines for Formula One winning cars. Akina McLaren in the 1998, 1999 Mika Hakkinen era. They were supplying those engines. They have been supplying McLaren when
Okay,
Lewis Hamilton was winning.
when
Mercedes have always had some presence in Formula One. Don't say they're a new team.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say is that you see, teams usually like rise, they're through the gutters and all that.
Yeah.
But since Mercedes came, this is the first time.
Like,
They're going through it.
Yeah,
and
and
say it.
Yeah, no.
like as a team.
Yeah.
I get
Because
what you're
As
saying.
as
I get what
Mercedes,
you're
Mercedes
saying,
the team, yes.
but I'm not saying I won't agree with it wholly because after they took a championship winning team in 2009, 2010 and 2011 were lackluster years for them, and they had a dip in performance because remember, winning a championship is the highest you can get in Formula One. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And 2010 and 2011, you know how those seasons were. They finished, I think, 6th and 7th, something like that. So that's a dip. That's an immediate dip. I mean, the only reason I feel you guys are feeling this way is recency bias, number 1, because of how long their dominance was. The Ferrari dominance wasn't that long. Theirs was, 2014 to 2021. That's like 7 years.
What I'm trying to say is this. You see, when a team is like going through it, that is when they should build character. This is when we'll know if Mercedes is a strong team or it will break
That's
down.
when we know what you're made of.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if for the Mercedes people, these are the moments that should define you.
Hey,
don't
bro.
jump ship.
Yeah.
Don't
If-
abandon
if-
ship.
you jump
they've been
ship-
jumping ship since Hamilton announced that he's going to Ferrari.
It says a lot about the team as Mercedes.
Brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Brother, it's no
You're
longer
you're
Tifosi.
saying
It's what? It's what?
No,
I want you guys to hear it from the horse's mouth.
No, I'm not
It's
saying
no longer
anything. I'm not-
Tifosi. It's what?
I plead the 5th.
It's
I plead the
Hamfosi.
5th. I plead the 5th. I'm not
It's
saying that thing.
Hamfosi, bro.
I'm not saying that thing, man. I'm not saying that thing.
Brother, they've been jumping ship.
Listen.
The only thing that can save Mercedes is a cost cap to be removed. That's the only thing.
I mean, listen, even if it's
People have
removed,
money
listen.
now,
Hey, no,
especially
no,
when
it's
Americans
removed.
are as already in the sport.
You see, the cost cap is preventing teams from
behaving a certain way.
behaving a certain way when it comes to development.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritties, but Mercedes has been known of even building like 3 cars
Mercedes, we know you.
in 1 year, 3 cars, and then you start weighing options.
We have a whole dossier on Mercedes crimes.
Hii gani ni mzuri, gani ni mbaya. Yeah.
We have a whole dossier.
You throw money, you hire the best of the best engineers. Yeah. You sijui power unit penalties. That's BS.
Some Abdullahi from somewhere in Etihad, somewhere who built a car which doesn't exist, is brought in to head of development.
Sijui ati power unit sijui penalties. Bro, we have the money. We'll start from the back na tutamaliza number 1 Brazil. Sitaki kuongea nyingi. Yeah, we have the money. Now when cost cap came in.
Please address the fans.
Now when the
Mercedes
cost cap came in, now you no longer have the money to buy the toys that you could buy. and now it's up to okay. It's no longer buying toys and trying to, as in doing A/B testing and see in a weekend or during the year. But now it's about you have to put all your eggs in one basket.
You have to commit.
You have to commit.
You have to
we're
commit
going in this direction.
Yes, and if it's the wrong one,
yes.
So what you're basically saying is Mercedes are in a position where they've never been in before.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They haven't been in Formula 1 for a long time.
Rules by force.
They have money, but they can't throw that money at this problem that they have.
Now they have to go by the rules. They have to abide by the rules. Uliwaitanga watoto wa shule gani?
Starehe boys.
Sahi hakuna leakages. There are no leakages. That's a plan for Kenyan schools.
By the way, the turbo hybrid era, they walianza na leakage.
Yeah.
Lakini hiyo tufai kusema.
Hatuongelea maneno. Reasons why I hate Mercedes by Ram. That's a book coming out, by the way. That's a book coming out.